So what do we think is going on here?
Now on inclusion and exclusion from the Bible, what about the claim that the story of the woman who's caught in adultery, who's about to be stoned, is not found in the earliest copies of Scripture that we have?
Yeah, so that is actually true. And I would say, I have an article on my website called My Favorite Verse in the Bible That's Not in the Bible. And that's this passage, right? John 7:53 through 8:11. It's known as the pericope adulterae. And it's not found in any of the manuscripts prior to the 5th century. And the first time it appears is in a document called Codex Beza. So what do we think is going on here? I don't think John wrote it. So I think we can see from the pattern of what rings true of an authentic Jesus narrative that the story of the woman caught in adultery fits. However, because I do not believe John wrote it, I would kind of hesitate in calling it inspired scripture, because I
Hmm.
think what God inspired John to write is what was inspired for the Gospel of John. However, I am fine with holding it as a story that rings true. But Michael, I think this is very encouraging that we know exactly what is and isn't
Hmm.
in Scripture. The only reason why people even doubt the story of the woman caught in adultery is because we are able, with such a high degree of confidence, to be able to pinpoint what is and isn't Scripture, or what kind of has a question mark over it. So we're honest with the text. And as someone who studies manuscripts and the text, I have an incredible level of encouragement and confidence to know exactly what is and isn't authentic, even if there are some question marks around certain texts, because we have such a rich manuscript tradition within the history of